We're here at AirVenture Oshkosh, and we've come around to look at something a little bit different than we've seen from the RANS company. We've covered a lot of their airplanes, some great flying machines there. This one's a little bit different. Talking today with Randy Schlitter, the principal and main designer for the company. I'm Dan Johnson, and I just got to ask you, Randy, it's a nice looking airplane. They usually are from your company, but how are you making it work with no fabric on the wings?
It's revolutionary, Dan.
Revolutionary concept.
Yeah, we've been able to fly this plane without a cover on it.
Now that I gotta see.
As long as you put it on a flatbed trailer and go really fast. So.
That works. Actually, people love to see what we sometimes call a bare bones example, because you cover them all up, you paint them all pretty and everything. That's great, they look nice, but what is all that stuff inside? But you did this for a specific reason on this particular airplane we're looking at here. What's the new deal?
Well, this aircraft does show off aircraft parts that are in production. It's a new airplane.
This is what for you now? Let's identify
that. S20.
S20.
Up
so
to 20, yeah. And it's called the Raven.
Raven.
We like how the sound RANS or Raven sounds, and
I like that. Well, you usually do a good job with identifying it by a number, but also by a name, because a name gives it a little personality. So
yes, and we didn't make that word up like we usually do.
yeah, a lot of your names are kind of different.
Combinations of things. But it's a very interesting project. We've had a lot of people wish that we built a side-by-side S7 Courier.
Ah, okay.
And we last year we displayed a fuselage of a mock-up of a plane that was going to be the S7XP, or excuse me, the S6XP.
S6XP.
And my goodness, we looked at all the model numbers the 6 Series had, and we said, you know, we got to do something different, because we're going to get confused and we're never going to get it right.
I have been for some time about which S6 it is.
So we had a aha moment, and it says, well, let's just take the best of 2 aircraft. All right. So we started at the nose. We took firewall forward for the Coyote, and this is the new Coyote engine install.
Okay.
Then we took the wings off the 7.
Okay.
Took the tail, borrowed the control system stuff from the S6, invented some new really slick seats that adjust really neat, which you'll have to try, and we'll get a movie of that.
Okay.
And so we borrowed about maybe 90% of this airplane. All we had to do is create a new fuselage, so we're already 90% flight tested.
Well, it's an interesting fusion. The S6 has been a big seller for you for a number of years. It's your number one seller, is it not?
We're pushing over 3,000.
Oh, just the S6?
Just the 6.
And how many total airplanes from RANS?
5,000.
5,000. So both numbers are high values. One of our solid companies in the light aircraft space, but S6 I know has been a huge thing for you for a long time. But after I flew S7 with you, several years ago down at AOPA's event in Tampa, Florida, I realized why everybody loves the S7. That's a sweet flying machine. So when you fuse these two together, did you keep the 7 flight characteristics?
Well, we have to have, because it's mostly that for the aerodynamic parts.
The wings and so forth.
The wings and the tail. We're predicting slight higher cruise, and that's because we've taken the plate drag area down a little bit.
Now, how have you been able to do that with, it seems illogical that you widened it to get 2 people in there.
We're only allowing small people to fly it. So. No, we've done it by taking, the dimensions of the 6 are about 48 by 40, and this is about 47 by 46.
Now, what do those values represent? What do those numbers mean?
That was the axle width of the belly.
Okay.
At 40.
Okay.
And it's actually about 47 height.
Okay.
And we're the same on this, but what we've done is done some tapering.
Okay.
On the fuselage, and we chopped off quite a few square inches of plate drag by doing that to the fuselage.
Now, excellent. So what is the cockpit width inside this one?
46.
46. Okay. So you're big then.
Yeah. So how are you going to be offering this airplane to the market?
It's going to be offered in partial kits and also full kits. And if everything goes right, we plan on certifying it to SLSA.
Oh, okay.
We've already had a lot of interest in it.
Now, you've already done that with the S7, you've already done that with the S6.
And the
so
19.
Since you're fusing these together, and the 19, yes, although that one's so different, I didn't include it in the number count here, but since you've already done those other 2 and you got the drill down, this should not be a big deal to go through the ASTM standards with this.
This aircraft also has a nice feature I like to point out.
What's that?
Convertible.
How's that?
You can take these gear off and bolt it to the aft position. You notice it has gussets in 2 places, so you can take the gear off.
I see you've got quite a bit of structure back over here. I'll lean in front of you to point out that area. So you can stick the gear, you can
You could have 6 wheels on it, or just 3 of a trike or a tail dragger version if you like. So that's got a lot of...
Can the owner, no, not with an SLSA, but an amateur
We'd have to
build?
do an LOA if they had an SLSA.
Okay, but they could swap them back and forth even after the fact. Okay.
Yes, after the fact.
Yeah, and so that's very cool. Well, you made me curious about the seats. Why don't we take a cut here and go look at the seats?
And also you want to look at the giant baggage compartment.
Because I see you brought your dog along.
Yeah, he's not said a word all week. Nor did he last.
Let's do that.
All right, see, these are just quick pins here. And of course, with those out, the seat pops in and out. And if you're looking at that plate, you got all these different holes. That'll give you different recline settings.
Okay.
So like if your passenger's tired and before you take off.
It just kind of clamps around the center tube, which is welded, and then you put a looks like stainless over it, just to keep the scratch factor
down. And also some white lining. That's a good material to have around the house.
Just pin it in, yeah.
So you got that. So that's a max recline, and this is probably about the normal setting. Now, most people aren't going to put it there unless they got a sleepy passenger. But this hole, number 3 hole, is my favorite, so I'll just demonstrate this. So let's say you're a big guy, you can't bend a lot, you come up to your plane, you got the big 51-inch door. Yeah. But we also kicked the panel about 3 inches forward, and that process that brought this forward door tube.
A little easier to get your leg in there.
So now all you do is slip up here like so, and you got a couple of choices. You can put the stick all the way forward, get around it pretty easy like that.
Okay.
Now the cool thing is,
that's an easy
I'm too far away, so I'll grab a handhold. That's it. That's all you got to do. And what's happening there is
it's gripping through.
Yeah,
friction.
we're binding through there, but there's also a row of buttons because what we anticipate is somebody being hot and sweaty, and they lean forward and take the seat with them, and then they start sliding back.
Okay.
So it's super clever, super no parts involved.
So how do we access the baggage area? How do you get in and out, or get things in and out of it?
Well, yeah, you have this giant baggage area back there, so.
Well, what you do is you just fold the seat forward. Now, like we mentioned earlier, if you pop the seat out, we'll probably have as an option a aluminum structure or aluminum option that'll probably just set on this and come all the way here at the same deck level, and then fit on here.
I see. Okay, so you could really load some long stuff in there.
You could load long stuff. You could carry a patient, stretcher in here. A very small petite nurse over there, and your jungle pilot here, and you can go back in the third world countries, and some places it takes 3 days to hike out of the woods. But what you could do also with it is you put that platform in here, take out both your seats, and you got a sleeper.
Now you can do camping in the airplane then.
Plenty of room.
How soon can someone have an airplane if they wanted one at the show?
We could actually get you wing kits within 6 or 8 weeks, because guess what? They're already in production. Like 90% of the planes in production.
Well, you've been building these parts before anyway, so.
What you're looking at, almost everything you see here is in production. So ultimately, as we speak, the fuselage is being tooled up right now, and several copies of this fuselage are being manufactured. But the fly in the soup is flight testing, which we'll have done probably in less than 6 months, we hope. Of course, now 6 months from now we're in January, which January in Kansas is ideal weather for flight testing.
Yikes. Well, that's a lot of information, Randy. As always, we appreciate you giving us all this update on the new S20 Raven with its very cool seat structure that he's putting back in now. Where else do we go to get more information on your website?
Well, that's an easy one. Just go to RANS.com.
RANS.com. We'll put it up on the screen. I've been all over Randy's website, and it's a lot of information there. So go have a visit at RANS.com.
Is that a nice way of saying you can't find your way around?
No, it's an easily navigated site. You can also find out about all kinds of cool bicycles too, which I personally enjoy.
Well, we do have a lot of nice features. We got the gallery, we got the Wall of Fame. That's where all the people who win awards with our planes, we post them there. Of course, we're on Facebook. We've got at least 5 or 6 people following that. So
I'm sure a bit more than that, too modest. But RANS.com, I've flown most of Randy's airplanes over the years and reported on those, and we've got lots of other videos and information. You can find that on bydanjohnson.com or bydanjohnson.com. Thanks a lot for joining us here at AirVenture Oshkosh.